You've probably heard the phrase, I want to be an instrument in the hands of the Lord. Stop and think about what that means. When you go to an art museum, let me use this example. If you go up to a sculpture, so you could take the Pietà, you could take David, you could take any of the famous sculptures that have been made by some of the greatest artists to have ever lived. How many people go up to one of those sculptures and are sitting there or standing there admiring it thinking, man, I wish I could see the chisel that made this part, or the chisel set that made this sculpture? People usually aren't focused on the chisels and the instruments. They're usually focused on the author, or in this case, the artist. The Lord is the one who's doing this work, which means he picks up instruments to use in his hands to perform his work. But that means if I'm an instrument in the hands of the Lord, that the master craftsman or the master artist might look at me as an instrument in his hands and say, it's the wrong shape. I need you to be a little sharper here and a little less dull over there. Which means sometimes he might put me in a fire, a really hot fire. And then he might put me on an anvil and grab a really painful hammer and start reshaping me until I'm the shape and size and the dimension that he wants, and then puts me in water to cool me off. And now the instrument is ready to do that work. Brothers and sisters, you're going to watch Jesus, the master artist, the master craftsman, he who has all authority to do his work and knows what instruments he needs to do it, who's going to take common, simple people like me and you and like these early saints, and he's going to pick them up and he's going to shape them through the furnace of affliction. He's going to consume their dross. He's going to make them sharp and the right shape for him to then be able to perform his work and to create this beautiful sculpture that we're after, which is building up of the kingdom of God upon all of the face of the earth in the latter days. So you can watch both the magnificent carving episodes that take place through church history, as well as the shaping of the instruments episodes that are going to be taking place throughout this story. Now, notice verse 8. Verily I say unto you that they who go forth bearing these tidings unto the inhabitants of the earth, to them is given power to seal both on earth and in heaven. Once again, it's not the missionaries or the leaders of the church in the different organizations at various levels. It's not the parents or the grandparents who take this authority to themselves. It's given to them by the Lord. That power is given to them to go and do this work. Look at verse 11. Wherefore the voice of the Lord is unto the ends of the earth, that all that will hear may hear. There's a pattern. It just keeps coming up over and over again, that his voice isn't just for a small group. The gospel of Jesus Christ, the covenant path, is not a restricted members only kind of a club. He is inviting all to come to this path.